Hi everyone, it's Lisa here, and today I am going to answer a few questions that my friend Jennelle has been searching for. Hi Jennelle, I hope that you're healing very well from your endometriosis surgery, and that you can be worry-free from here on out with this advice that I myself am about to give you, that Bill Barlow gave you, and that Dan the man, the Liferegenerator, have given you. Also, I have a little bit of advice from Dr. Robert Morse here for you too. And so, the advice that Dr. Robert Morse gave you was quite simple. I told him that you were on a budget, and so his advice was to hit the fruits hard as possible. Stay on the astringent fruits such as watermelon and the citrus and the grapes and the lemons, and get that water to your system. That was his suggestion for food. Now I know you don't have a taste for watermelon, and so my suggestion there, in my own experience, there have been green juices or different things that I've made that I knew were extremely healthy for me. However, the taste may have been less than desirable. And so, you know what I would do? I'd drink it anyway. I'd eat it anyway because I knew the amazing stuff it was doing to my body and to my cells. These fruits and vegetables work their magic, okay? And so he also suggested, where you're on a budget, his whole idealism is that the body heals best on a diet of high fruit and herbs. And so what he suggested is get the lymphatic system going, the kidneys and bladder going, and make sure to get the female reproductive formula and the Heal All tea. Now, if the only thing you can afford would be the Heal All tea, that's great. So ingest it in the mouth, ingest it via douche, and ingest it via enema. The douche will target your endometriosis. It will help flush and detoxify those cells out of that area, the bad cells, the ones that are causing you the scar tissue and such. It will help purge those toxins. Now, by doing the enema, that will help with your IBS. By drinking it, that will help your whole body and, as well, your migraines. You can even, with the Heal All tea, you can, when you have a migraine, you could even, because sometimes, you know, it comes from tension, and so you could use it as an eye wash as well. And so it will absorb that way. Okay, so here's what I suggest, Jennelle. I know we've talked before and such. Well, here is what I would do if I were in your situation. I'm just going to go kind of step by step here, without even adding in the herbs at this point. This is what I would do. I would wake up in the morning, I would pour myself 32 ounces of either distilled spring water, or even canned water, and where your body is in an extremely acidic state at this current time, because of all the different things that are going on in your body, alkaline water could be very, very beneficial for you. So those are the 3 different types of water I would suggest. Along with that water, I would squeeze the juice, 1 whole lemon, and put it in the water. Okay? And so when your body goes to sleep at night, you go into a state of detoxification and regeneration, and when you wake up, you're going to continue that fasting process, especially when you drink that water with the lemons. In Chinese medicine, they state that around 10 or 11, your liver dumps and flushes. And so that lemon will just blow that process out of the water. It will help it. Okay, so that's the first thing I would do. Secondly, depending on how I felt, I may do a mono meal fast, or I may just choose to have a bunch of different astringent fruits throughout the day for 2 meals. Okay, so the first meal I would go for when I wake up in the morning is most likely watermelon. Now, if you're really not digging the taste, then of course you may want to go with an apple meal, a mono meal of apples, or some oranges, and just eat until you get to that point where you're like, okay, I'm satiated at this point. The way I see it, if you start bogging down your digestion, your body is now going to be working on digesting instead of cleansing. So eat until you're satiated. If you're hungry an hour, 2 hours later, eat some more. Eat when you're ready. That is what I would do. Then I would consume some more water, another 32 ounces. So now we're up to 64 ounces. And then for lunch, once the time came after my mid-morning water, I would have, depending on if I was mono-mealing on the same fruit over and over, I'd have another half a watermelon. Okay? So now I've had a whole watermelon, and I'm feeling great, feeling energetic. Now if I was doing mono-mealing, but mixing up my fruits during that day, I might have a big bowl of grapes, okay? So, black grapes. Very, very cleansing. So I would have some black grapes. I might even, every time I have that 32 ounce of water, I might put another lemon in. So 3 lemons a day, because you're going to do 3 32 ounces of water. And then, okay, so I've just eaten my lunch. Maybe I had apples on another lunch, or just whatever fruit you wish. But the most astringent ones are great to stick to. Now I'm done that, and it's mid-afternoon. Okay, another 32 ounces. I'd be on my third 32 ounce water. 1 other lemon juiced into it. Now if you're at work, of course you're not going to have your juicer with you, so just slice your lemon in half and squeeze that lemon in there. And where you're working at a restaurant, maybe you already have lemon there, and so where a lot of places when we work at restaurants, they allow us to have some sort of a meal or something. So maybe you could just have some lemon. I'm sure they'd be fine with that. Now it's supper time, and I know that Morse is very into, okay, let's get those fruit in. In my own experience, however, I feel like when our bodies are regenerating and detoxing through the night, the best thing for myself is to make myself a leafy green juice in the evening, and then that'll help regenerate because of the high amino acid content in those greens. Best greens to put in there are dandelion greens and field greens. Put some cucumber in there to make sure there's a high water content, and it yields a lot to have cucumber in there. Now I know that this is sounding like a relatively expensive way of eating. However, like you said, you have some bulk providers in your area. Sure, they may not offer discounts past what they're already discounting stuff, but if you can get past your dislike for watermelon. Watermelon can be extremely inexpensive at times. And just think, one watermelon a day is your meal, and then you buy a few pounds of leafy greens and some cucumber and celery. And you've got enough food there. And some lemons, of course, your 3 lemons a day. It's really not that expensive.